Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on this channel that talks about AI and its effect on humanity. This video is going to be a little bit of a tough one. I need you to stay with me on this because this is very unscripted, but it really needs to get out there. It's really important you hear this. It is about where AI is going. But before we start, my name is Shawn. I am your Geek Translator. I have a background in tech, but not in Silicon Valley. My background is in the defense industry, where I designed and built robotic devices for the military. Now, before we get going, today is a little bit of a tough day. You know, I try not to let this bleed onto this channel, but I can't help it. Today is my birthday, and it's not a huge deal to me, but I've had 4 children serve in the military. I'm an Army veteran myself, and 4 of my children served, and 2 of them did not survive. So, my other 2 children will be calling me today, and 2 of them will not. And it's hard. The holidays are hard and things like that. Anyway, I was pretty bothered by something in the AI world that I just really needed to speak to you guys from the heart. And that is, if you understand, I am from the tech world. I not only work for the defense industry, but I've had my own software company for over 20 years. It did quite well. I'm a software developer. I program in 4 or 5 languages pretty fluently. But you know, I just need you guys to understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from this other side where, you know, I've been very pro-capitalism. A lot of my family members have either small businesses or very large businesses. And I just feel like there's something off when it comes to AI. And I need you guys to hear this. I need you guys to share this video. Some of you guys don't understand just how many people are being replaced by AI right now. They're not reporting it in the government's data. There's no category for this where your job has been replaced by AI, but it is happening. I'm hearing from more and more people. It's impacting a lot of people. And if you don't think it's going to impact you and your job is safe, imagine all these other people. There's going to be several million people that will be replaced by AI in the next even 12 months. So imagine all these people and they need a job. Well, they're going to start trying to be paramedics and plumbers and electricians and everything you do. So I think this is going to have a huge impact on everybody. One of the things that bothered me just last night is I was really looking to do a video and let you guys know what a CUA is. What that is, it's a Conversational User Agent. It's an AI bot that can take control of your computer. Not just your computer, but it's intentional. Company owners, they can have this thing take control of a administrative assistant. Let's say they have an administrative assistant. That's the politically correct word for secretary. So they have a secretary, and the secretary does scheduling and all these other things. And let's say you have software on your computer that's a little bit outdated. You're running something older. And normally the secretary would be thinking, my job is safe because nothing new can run our old systems. Well, these CUA bots, they are able to take control of that computer and actually move the mouse around and be able to understand what's on the screen. And what's happening with that is these bots right now are able to use a computer as is and even operate old software. Now, that sounds kind of cool to some of you guys, but the CUA agents, they can do about 60% of a secretary's job right now, but by next year, they'll be able to do 100% of it because they're advancing so fast. And what bothers me the most about that is that one just seems like it's a direct attack on a person's job. I mean, that one there is not, to me, about helping that person do their job better. That one's about replacing the person. So, that was bothering me last night, and I felt compelled to bring you guys a message. I'm torn between the two worlds because I grew up in a world, in my mind, that I got excited every time I would develop something new that has never been invented before. I always dreamed of things. Some of these dreams came to me, but other things I used my imagination and created something or drew it and said, this is going to happen in the future. It's really cool. But the way the AI is advancing right now is kind of splitting me in half because I come from a very capitalist point of view. I believe in people being able to do things on their own and excel or not excel. And that's, to me, worked because, like, when I was in the army, I was initially over in Germany when the Berlin Wall came down, and I kind of saw how bad things were getting over on the other side of things. Germany and Czechoslovakia, which was the Soviet Union controlled. And I don't like communism. And I haven't seen where socialism has worked either, but capitalism is not pretty. But why do people flock to a capitalist nation? Why is that? They're not flocking to a communist nation, they're flocking to a capitalist nation. So capitalism seems to work. And being that I'm in the tech field, I love technology and I love advancing and things like that, but there's something really, really wrong right now. And I'm feeling this from everywhere. I'm hearing from people. I'm almost losing sleep about this, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking. The AI technology is changing so rapidly that people don't even have a chance to adjust to this. I mean, this is catching a lot of people off guard. And, I think of the Jurassic Park analogy. When you think about we're able to recreate the dinosaurs, we're so busy asking, could we? We don't say, should we? You get excited about recreating the old dinosaurs and then you let them loose. They start eating people. You're happy you brought something back to life, but look what it does. So this is really bothering me, and I'd have to say there's a lot of people right now that are losing their livelihood, their dignity, their purpose. They lose their job. They can't get another one. They lose hope. And I'm not against tech CEOs and billionaires and all that stuff, but I've noticed lately, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but people like Bill Gates and some of the others, they've gone beyond the technology. They're talking about social engineering and kind of going into all parts of the world and changing it in a lot of different ways that have nothing to do with software. Some of them have a little bit of a God complex. And I really feel like these people that are being let go, there's going to be several million of them, and there's going to be a lot of suffering. And on the other hand, if you were to cut back or shut down the AI, or you were to, I would say that AI doesn't suffer, doesn't have feelings, and the tech CEOs, they don't suffer. The only one who's suffering here are going to be the workers. And there are going to be so many people that are let go that, it's going to cause a major problem around the world. There's going to be a lot of upheaval. And a lot of these tech CEOs have seen this coming for a long time. Don't be fooled. They're not just realizing it. These guys have known this for a long time, what is going to happen. And so instead of looking like the bad guy, you'll hear a lot of these guys, they know this is coming. They know the mass unemployment is coming. And they'll come up with things like UBI, which is universal basic income, so that everybody gets a paycheck for existing. And what that tells me is that they want to put a Band-Aid on something, a wound they created. They want to not have any responsibility for this. They want to be the solution for this. And I think they're wrong. I think that this AI arms race that's happening right now, I know it's hard to stop it. We can't. But these guys that are pushing this thing, all in the name of profit and dominance and control, they're not on the same page as the rest of us. They're not concerned about the administrative assistant or the web developer or all these other occupations that are being reduced in mass right now. They don't care. They only care if public opinion goes against them. But they do not care about that individual person who was just let go yesterday, or that entire team that was let go yesterday. So, in closing, I don't know what has to happen to get some sort of balance to this, but this ticks me off so bad that I feel like anybody pushing this stuff, these advances, need to pay up. And I'm not talking about pay higher taxes and stuff like that. That's the usual crap everybody keeps saying. I'm talking about, I wish there was some way that when they kill a bunch of jobs, they have to help that person get another job or help them. help them with their bills. They have no accountability for this whatsoever, and they're just making more and more money. So guess what? There's going to be a lack of a middle class anymore. There's just going to be the bottom, and then there's going to be the few at the top. And what can we do about it, you know? They have all the money, they have all the power, but they have to somehow either control the masses or they have to appease them. Or the people rise up and they take them down. And I don't know how this is going to play out, but I kind of have a feeling it's going to end up being controlled by one or just a few people. I think this whole situation will be going that way. And that's just partially because of my upbringing. We kind of knew this was coming a very long time ago. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. This was a very unscripted, heartfelt message. Normally, I'm just going to get right to the AI topics and keep you informed on what's happening next and do my best to try to figure out how I can help as many displaced people as I can, because even though I'm a tech guy, I'm also human, and if I were to choose between technological advancement and humanity, I'm going to lean towards humanity. I do not like to see people suffer, and I think this is only beginning right now. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. I know some of you guys will disagree with me on capitalism and all that kind of stuff, but just, let me know. And let me know if you guys have any ideas on how this can be, I don't know about slowed down, but some sort of way to help people adjust, even if it means slowing it down. Like I said, I wish these tech CEOs were kind of on the hook for what they did. I mean, they would change their attitude completely if you said, well, we're going to estimate how many workers are killed by your technology, and then you got to pay us a certain amount. I mean, they would slow it down, or they'd figure out a way, well, we don't want to kill a bunch of jobs, but you can't really do that. This isn't going to happen. So, if you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. All right. Well, appreciate you watching. I'm not going to get as emotional on some of the other videos. So we'll catch you later. Bye.